Welcome everyone to the Mitch692 channel, or welcome back to the Mitch692 channel. I'm Mitch692. That'd be the last time I say that. This is a special little video. It's the first of its kind on my channel. It's not going to happen every time for a game or anything that comes out, but this one I feel like it deserves it. So we are, of course, talking all spoilers for Clair Obscur Expedition 33. And I can't do it alone, as you can see. CBC listeners should recognize. But for everyone else, I'm joined by Ricardo from, is it RC Imperious or is it just Imperious News?
Just RC Imperious. The only reason I do like RC Imperious is to make sure like it's associated in a way with Imperious News. So it's like that, because saying Imperious News is like, a bit tedious. So at least it's more, I feel like it's more recognizable that way. That's
fair. So yes, I did my review, which should be up on my channel right now. So if you haven't, check it out and come back here. I didn't talk spoilers because I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but I wanted to talk spoilers. And Ricardo is the only other person I know who's actually finished it.
Oh, no. Yeah, of course. Who doesn't want to finish Peak? Peak 33.
Exactly. I was about
the
to
game
ask,
that makes me want to be French.
Not that much. Not that much. No. But I was going to say, where are you sitting with it? But I think you just answered that question.
Yeah.
It's all Peak.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
I just found out something like 10 minutes before we started this.
Really?
Did you know if everyone wore either the swimsuits or the baguette outfits, then Renoir shows up in cutscenes wearing one?
No, I did. What?
If everyone's in a baguette outfit,
has to be in a swimsuit?
If the whole team is in a swimsuit or a baguette outfit, then Renoir shows up in a baguette outfit or swimsuit.
So this is why I need to play New Game Plus.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh,
we're supposed to get the baguette sword. Because the secret baguette weapon that everyone can get. That's apparently busted, which is hard to believe because everything's busted in this game.
Yeah. Nerf the bread.
So where do we start? Actually, I know where we can start. Let's start with Act 1 that you blew wide open for me.
Look, man.
Not giving me a chance to get there.
I thought you made it far in me.
Just to give
when context. I texted that, when I messaged that in the chat, it was my immediate reaction to that very moment. All right, so if anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, when Gustav got killed, that moment was so insane to me. I couldn't believe it. I had to look at the cover of the game to be like, I was like, Gustav is in it, right? I was like, no, Gustav, yeah. So.
It's all Gustav in the marketing stuff.
Yeah,
he sent me the classic.
In all the promotion.
Yeah, this man sent me the classic, just all caps, Gustav. Immediately what was going to happen. Immediately. This man trying to walk it back? Nah. Everyone knows what all cap means. Everyone knows what that means. I'm like, are you kidding me? Obviously, it's something else could have happened, but I was 5 minutes away from it as well. That's the worst part.
Oh, really?
Right there, yeah. I literally saved the Lampmaster.
Because I was playing the game, right? And my girl and my dog was in the living room. The moment Gustav died, I yelled out, Gustav! I was like, no.
I honestly couldn't believe they did that.
They literally Arif Gustav. I couldn't believe that. They Arif Gustav. And that's good storytelling, because I was like, that's something I actually have, because we've seen it multiple times of like a character dying and there's a complaint, but there's no complaint on how this was done, because it was done so well.
Yeah.
Because you got a good replacement right after Gustav. And I was like, okay. And I was like, we got
a little too soon. A little too soon. That was like immediately
I agree.
After. Like he could have.
They could have waited like a little bit in Act 2, because he's like OP off rip. I was like, wow.
I don't mind Verso being there immediately, but to be the character that is the main one, because obviously you take over, like, you use Verso in the camp and you can't switch. But yeah, just a little bit. Just give me like 10 minutes with the girls and Eskia and whoever else, because that was so fast. But speaking of errors, this game, and I say it in my review, it's the exact same structure as 7.
Yeah. Like it's everything. The most early Final Fantasy, and like it feels really good.
Because you start off in like your grounded place that you're there for like 30, 40 minutes and you get thrusted into this massive world map. Your whole entire thing is to get to the top of the world. And then they're like, hey, there's big monsters you got to fight that are bigger than everything else. Go fight 4 of them. And then go take on God. And it's like, you know what? Not knocking it, but I appreciate. And I think that's part of the reason why it works so well. So it understands exactly how those PS1 era RPGs worked. And it's not just trying to shamelessly rip it off. It's actually like, we know how it works. Like the character dynamics, like Gustav, Lune, Mael, and CL all work the same as like Cloud, Tifa, and Aerith do. I'm like, you know what? I appreciate this. I really appreciate it.
Same thing with some of the locations, right? Because I appreciate it because I thought every location I was gonna have to go through like a boss or whatever. It was like, no, you just go in. There's a little item there. And I was like, you look at the scenery. I was like, oh wow, amazing. You just leave. I was like, oh yeah, this is peak. They understand RPG. I was like, this is so good.
All the like the PS1 era, like Capcom.
Yeah.
Just here's a screen, run around it, find a thing, come out again. I love that stuff.
It's something we've been missing in a long time.
It really is. And it was, I've seen so many people like, I thought it was a bug. I thought my camera just broke. It's like, no, it's just classic RPG. I mainly remember it from like Capcom, but I suppose the old PS1 Final Fantasies are just all one screens, isn't they, really? Just think about it. You know, what was your I won't say favorite part, but it's kind of hard to have a favorite part. What's like the standout moment? Obviously, apart from Gustav, because I think Gustav's going to be everyone's. Because
my standout moment, well, me personally, my standout moment is when so when you get, I loved the way Act 2 ended. It was so good because when you get to the Paintress, like, because Act 2 is so thick. It's really thick. So when you do the Paintress stuff and the fight and whatever, and then you find out the Wind War, or like I feel like the whole Verso thing, I feel like everything was coming to pieces a lot earlier to me. So I was able to figure out like, okay, this is what's happening. So when you beat it and everything happens, and then it cuts to like the epilogue to a switch out to like, oh, Act 3, I was like, oh my God, this game keeps going. I was like, thank God. I was like, please.
When you say you figured it out,
you're gonna hit me with the DLC?
Well, when you say you figured it out, do you mean the inner painting part, or do you mean like the family?
Yeah.
You actually figured the painting part out?
Yeah, there was a lot of dialogue. There was a lot of dialogue between Verso and stuff, and like so when they kept going back to Mael, right, and then they had Alicia, and I kind of figured, I was like, okay, obviously who Mael is, she's not a part of this world, so I already figured that out. I was like, if Alicia is already the painter part of the section, I was like, oh, there's no way. Like, why is she there? So when we got like the backstory to Mael in Act 3, and she actually did live her whole life, I was like, oh, that is so good. So yeah, so it was a lot of pieces that I was like, okay, this is what they're doing, blah, blah, blah. The only thing that actually surprised me was playing OP Mael in Act 3. It was like, oh, wow. So, but it was good stuff.
Did you use the Painted Power Picto for Act 3?
I did not. Believe it or not, I did not. Because that's the one that exceeded. That's the one that exceeded like
the damage cap.
9,000, right? I did not.
Good.
Yeah, I used like because a lot of the stuff I used was like fire crits, the 50% chance. Like it was more so that I didn't really care about the exceeding thing. I don't know why I did that to myself. Maybe in New Game Plus, I'll probably use it just for the heck of it. But yeah.
It's a good thing you didn't because it breaks the game.
I saw people was getting billions of
Act
points.
3. Not even that, just Act 3 as a whole for the story, you just one-shot everything.
Really?
Yeah. If you have that Picto on, especially Mael, you just one-shot literally everything going through there. Because I was like level 50, 60, and I got up to the creation boss before Renoir at the end. And I like two-shot that thing. I'm like, you know what? I'm taking this off just in case.
Really? So you didn't even let like the game marinate?
No. It just straight up goes. Man. And part of me thinks it's a scaling issue.
I think they nerfed it, right? Like, didn't they patch it?
They nerfed Steinhall for Mael.
Oh.
One of her moves, because I think they nerfed that's also that one move. Kill. Yeah, they nerfed that one move, and I think they fixed a bug on the Medallion sword for her, the one that lets her start in virtuous mode or virtuous stance, because that was doing. It's supposed to be 200% for virtuous, but it was keeping the 200% for everything. So when you get back into virtuous, you'll then do another 200% on top of that. So you would that's how people get in the billions. Not that it matters, because people are still hitting like hundreds of millions, which is enough to one-shot literally everything.
Yeah, because the way I played, because I didn't really look up like people's builds, because I got scared if I searched any little thing, I'll be like surprised. So I just did builds that I feel like just made sense to me throughout the game. Because sometimes I'll switch out. Because sometimes Mael's not even in my team. Sometimes I have like Lune and Monoko. Sometimes I like CL a lot. She was my fave. Like I made sure I switched it up every now and then. So for example, for me to even get like exceed that 9,099 blah blah, I would have to use Mael like so many times for me to unlock that move to put on everybody. So I didn't even get the chance.
That's fair. It's only what, 4 fights for each pick. It's only like 4 fights for each pick to be learned, isn't it?
I think so.
Or something like that. No, that's probably like my only complaint. Actually, I said it in my review, is the scaling. If you have that on, the game is not scaled for it whatsoever. And I get it's a hard balance to do in like narratively, where it's like, hey, Mael's a paintress now. Spoilers. She's as strong as all these other people. So one-shotting makes a lot of sense, but it's like probably should have been like a 99,000 cap, like have a second cap on it or something like that, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And then we got what I was gonna say, there's oh wow, I lost my train of thought, but it was Mael related. Yeah, like bro, her being a paintress is so funny to me, because like it's like she's playable, right? So you would just expect her to just be OP, just straight up, even with with the little buffs, right? So
I mean, she's OP before that reveal. That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. I think they could have like waited until Act 3 for all that, because once she had the white hair and stuff, and she already had the powers, I was like, maybe she should have just be busted here. Because it don't make sense. Because she over here like bringing people back to life, stopping mom and dad, and all this other stuff. Like
that's why I'm not like. I don't say like they should have done this as like a knock to anything and saying it's bad because they did it, because it fits so well with how the story's told and everything. But it's just there's a little. Just like, I think, to be honest, everything after the second act could use like his health bumped up a little bit, or a lot, I should say.
You said the health for like your team?
No, enemies. Or the enemies and bosses.
I can see that. Yeah, I could see that because like you said, because you're especially if you have a good build, like these enemies minus Simon, like these enemies are like OP. I mean, not OP. They're very easy to handle. Even
Have
like
you
the
beat Simon?
parry, I beat Simon. It took a
Did,
while.
did you one shot or did you legitimately do it?
No, it took a while. It took a while. If
Mm.
I could one shot, I would. I would. But it
Mate,
was a lot of
it's
parrying.
so easy to
It's a
one shot.
long. It's very long.
I think because there's a couple of videos of just people just doing parries for Simon. I think it's like 147 parries in a row.
Yeah,
It's just crazy.
it's tedious. Like sometimes you gotta pray. Like sometimes I'll be like, okay, I can't parry this. Dodge, dodge, parry, dodge, and then because the thing is, because a lot of the pictos, like I like a lot of them is like really you get like health and stuff. You get like a shell or whatever. Every time I parry, I'm like, I gotta risk it. I gotta risk it. And then if I die, I'm like, oh my god, please no.
Have you seen all the lore about Simon and Clair?
Simon and Clea, the Lord, no.
Because at least from my understanding of it, because you know everything like the game tells you about Clair.
Yeah.
Where she's come in and then because obviously Aline, the mother's made a painted family. That's why you get 2 Versos and 2 Renoirs and 2 male or Alicias. But she doesn't like her mother's painting of her. And her the painted Clea, I'm pretty certain like marries Simon. And then Clea just comes in and goes, nope. And that's why Clea's a boss fight in the painted workshop. Which I'm mad about that one, actually. I one-shot her like straight away, and I was like, oh, I can't repeat the fight.
My god. No marination for with any of these bosses.
No.
You should just skip your turn and let them just let them beat you up.
I thought about it, but by the time I actually registered in my brain, I should probably leave it. I didn't intend to one-shot Clair. It just kind of happened, and I was like, why? But I'm probably going to do New Game Plus to actually just get back there and do them all legit anyway.
Yeah, I thought. I want to do New Game Plus soon. I don't think not instantly. I want to be able to like. Yeah, I want to let it like marinate. I want like so when I play again, like the experience is like, oh yeah, this is like really good. So yeah, because I like that excitement in the game, and I feel like I still remember a lot of the things like easily. I just wanna wait it out. So probably like a few more months.
Yeah, I was thinking of giving it like at least another week because it's been a couple since I finished it now. So not that I forgot any of the story because that whole thing is stuck with me.
Yeah, it is really good story.
Because once you get past Gustav, what's the bit? It's where'd you go after the Gustav moment?
You go back to your camp?
No, the next area.
Oh, where you like go to like the grave site to like
because you go to the Forgotten Battlefield or something like that.
Oh yeah,
and they're like they pump
it. Where it just looks like a whole war area, all destroyed. Yeah,
because that was the moment as well. Because right before you leave that bit before the duelist fight, which best boss in the game by the way, is fantastic. I love that thing. There's one of the fading painted figures. That's obviously all the family, because especially if you look back, it's like, yeah, that's Verso, that's Clair, that's Renoir, that's Alicia. Like for the longest time, and I didn't know this at first, but if you change if you're Mael at that moment, it talks to you. If you're anyone else, she doesn't.
Yeah.
And I was like, I really like these whole interactions they've just sprinkled out through here. Because if you look at the first time around where you have no context for anything on what they're talking about, and you just assume every time she's like, oh, she paints, they paint her painting. You just immediately assume it's a paintress. And a lot of the time it's actually Clair. It's like, you know what? That's really clever. They never call her the paintress. It's always like a paintress or something like that. It's something like that. And so, that makes more sense for Clair than Alicia. Not Alicia.
What do you think of? What do you think of? Like, what was your reaction seeing like Renoir for the first time?
Pretty much that. You see that dong, and it's like, oh no. Nothing ever good starts with just a bong.
Right, like
especially when it's slow, just dong.
Like, bro, you was just chilling in the camp, and that's like the first thing you got to deal with is just instant death. I was like, what's going on?
Did you see Verso in that cutscene?
When they're in the battlefield, so when they were fighting Renoir, oh, he's there. No, I didn't see that.
There's a shot of Gustave and Mael's in the background, and someone runs over to pick her up. And if you actually go back and watch it, or if you wait till New Game Plus, it's Verso's outfit.
Oh,
so
wow.
They've been there from the start. Because obviously he says to her, doesn't he, that he's been there the entire time, like taking out the stronger Nevrons. And it's like, well, some of this stuff you could have taken it. Like, take out the Lamp Master, for God's sake. That thing was tough. But
how about
that Renoir introduction, I adored that. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, I really liked Renoir as a antagonist. Was done really. I like how morally gray he is. Like he has an objective, but it's like, and then like as the story play out, it was like, oh man, it was like kind of right there, buddy.
Which Renoir though? Because the two Renoirs have different, obviously, goals and objectives, didn't they? Because Painted Renoir is trying to help Aline out, whereas the real Curator Renoir wants the painting destroyed. So this is the thing when you have two versions of everyone, you got to keep track.
Yeah,
because Painted Renoir, who you fight under the monolith before the Paintress, is stopping you from getting to her, because if you take her out, that means Renoir wins.
Oh yeah, then they all disappear because he didn't want that. Okay, yeah. Papa. I'm talking about Papa in real world.
There's one, she says that one time right at the end when Verso starts quoting him, and she's like, stop quoting Papa. Like, really emphasizes the P. And it's like, oh, Jennifer. It's so good. You know your game is gonna bang when you got Jennifer English. That girl is carrying RPGs on her back currently.
Do you think there's one what they keep talking about in the game, right? Especially from Clair, was like the writers and the the writers and like what was it? The music.
You had the writers and the painters. We don't know if music's part of it. We just know Verso wanted to. I assume it would work, right? Because it's the whole idea of you make art, you're creating life. So any form of that is gonna, I assume, in this world, have a similar effect. How that looks, I don't know. There's people being like, "Oh, I want the writers DLC." It's like, well, how does that look? How does that work?
I would rather get that's like a whole game dedicated to that for like not a DLC. Because then you have to have like a short hour, so they could make with the money they have made from this game alone. Why would you not want a full game?
I'll be honest, I don't need anything for the writers. No.
Really? I kind of like seeing like every time Cleo was like, "Oh, I got to deal with stuff over here," and I was like, "Can I see?" I want to know. Every time she was like, "I'm gonna go over there. I got something to do." I was like, can I like at least get a whiff or a peek at who you're dealing with?
But while we're talking about that part of the game, did you, when you're in that epilogue, and it's obviously not modern, it's not like present time, it's a flashback.
Yeah.
Did you find the dogs in the manor?
No, I did not see no dogs.
Okay, because it turns out Monoko and Noko are the dog names.
That explains a lot.
So if you look
I'm guessing they're Verso dogs, right?
Well, I assume they're the family dogs.
Oh.
No, at least they're the family dogs. They might not be like they could just be Verso's dogs, but like one, because I think it's flipped as well. It's Monoko the 5th, and there's Noko. And of course, in the painting, it's Monoko that survived the longest, and Noko's on like his however many resurrections. Which, so if you go back and look at all the Monoko stuff, the way they act and their dynamic, it's like, yeah, that's a boy and his dog. That is
you could tell now.
Dynamic. Minoko's like the funniest character. No.
I love Eskie. I love his voice actor so much.
So
like every time he speaks, I'm like, okay, bro. I was like, I don't know how you did this, but your voice is so good. I'm like, just talk to me.
That wee woo. Oh, it's so good. It's I've got a friend who doesn't talk exactly like him, but he's got a lot of the mannerisms. Like the minute I saw Eskie, I was like, this is actually you play this game right now. I don't think he's played it, which hurts, but it's like, this is actually you. Please play this game. I hope he doesn't take offense to it. But
how did you feel about a lot of the relationship build-ups for each character?
I mean, well, first of all, I kind of wish they made it clear how it worked. Because if I had a choice, and in New Game Plus, I'm going to try and figure it out, I wouldn't have gone CL. But I
was already in too deep. She ruined my life.
Nothing against CL. One, fantastic character, but I felt like it pushed me in that direction. It's like, no, I want to go the Lune way. I couldn't figure out how you get to Lune. Apparently, you got to deny CL twice or something like that. Or deny whichever one.
Bro. Of course, you have to deny her. I said yes every time.
There's denying it. There's denying it the one time, and then there's like having to do it more than once to really get there. It's like, you're in that conundrum of, I want the relationships to be maxed or as high as possible because you don't know what you're going to get from it because you always get something.
She's been through a lot. You just got to let her down gently.
So was Lune, though, right? It's not, like, even with Lune, like, I didn't think I was making the wrong choices, and it turns out I think every top choice is the right one. Every bottom one is the denial, even though they both kind of say similar things. It's just slightly different. But I did it once with Lune, and I was like, that was the wrong one. I immediately knew. It's like, no, that's gonna cost it, and then it cost it. But
I wish you saw my reaction with CL, because in Act 3, when she was like, "Oh, Mayel could bring back my husband and kid," I was like, what?
That makes it even worse. Like, sure, like, yes, like very believable. That's one thing about this game. The characters all feeling like insanely human. Like, they're actual real people.
Bro, that was so messed up. She was in too deep with Verso. I felt my Verso was in pain. I was like, nah, Verso, say something. I was like, screw your kid, bro. Screw you, like, you're dead, bro.
But when that happened, which choice did you do? Because you have the, yeah, sure, let's celebrate, make CL happy. Or you have the, that's not fair on me option.
Look, man, I still stayed with her. I thought she was going to change her mind in the end.
This man's too thirsty for CL.
And then when I complete the relationship with Lune, and when she was like, "Oh, you been hanging out with CL?" I was like, "No."
It would have been nice. It's like, it would have been Lune. I'm sorry.
I'm like, look, in New Game Plus, I'm just saying, I have no problem now.
Because what I want to know as well, because obviously once you get, what is it, rank 6 or 7? I think it's rank 6. You get all the side quests.
Yeah.
So you get the 4th accent, which I really love the accents for Mayel. You get the Sacred River for Minoko, Serene's dress for Lune, but I don't know if CL has one or not.
She just has a swimsuit.
Is that it?
From what I saw, that's literally the only thing you get from her was like a swimsuit.
That's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, New Game.
I'd love to know why they've done that, because they're all those side quests are like really good caps for like the character arcs and the relationships. But it was not to say CL's isn't good, but I would have just liked an actual quest. Like, let me go out and fight something.
Yeah, I agree.
When you've got something as good as like Mael's and like the Mael, Alicia, and the Axon Mael. So you got 3 Alicias in one room. Like, that fight was great. I loved that thing.
Yeah, it was so good with the music too, and her that part. I wish I let the fight marinate, because I didn't one shot her, but it took like 3 turns for me to kill her, and I was like, oh no, because she only changed her stance 2 times.
She's not, but that's another like point of my, just to bump up the health pools of people, of enemies.
Yeah,
because that's what like, it's. It's not even coming from the game's too easy. It's the combat is so fucking good in this game, and once you get into that parrying rhythm of everything, I just want shit to last longer. That's all I want. Not everything has to be Simon. I'm not asking for 1 sword swing and it's 3, but just let me sit in the fight, and because the amount of times I did bosses and then I reloaded the save just to do it again and hear the music in it, like that Renoir fight at the bottom of the monolith. Like, did that immediately, reloaded, do it again, because that music is so good.
I really love the song, the fight with the paintress. It was that fight with the paintress was like so. It was so good, man. Like,
did you notice what she does in the 3rd phase?
Huh?
Did you notice what she does in the 3rd phase?
What you mean? You mean when she opens the paint?
No, the bit after that. Because you fight her on SKA's back, don't you? And there's the big thing, and she tears reality apart and all that. But once you do that, you fight her again.
And
she's laying on the floor.
And she heals them, like she makes sure they don't get damaged. That was I was like,
so sad. I was like, what is going on? Why is she doing this? And then of course she wants everyone to live. Like, the whole point of her being here is to keep everyone alive.
Another point of the game that I also there's no way, like, I feel like they told you when Mael figured out that like what I forgot his name. Well, the other version of Renoir, the one who did the upgrades for you.
Oh, the curator.
Yeah, when Mael was like Renoir and stuff like that, or Papa, I was like, oh my god. I was like, how is he trapped in this body? What's going on?
It's not trapped in the slightest.
And I don't know if you ever played like the Nier series, because I do feel I don't know.
Nier is on my list. I've not got around to it yet.
You should, because when I played this game, it was, I don't know if the director even said like if Nier was an inspiration, but this game is a lot like the 2 versions of the characters, the reels, the pain, blah blah blah. Like, if you ever know like the lore of Nier, not Nier Automata, but like Nier Replicant, like the shades, etc. Like OG Nier, it's almost a lot similar, like super similar. So like even Mael, she was almost like, not really a spoiler, but she kind of just follows the path of Nier in like Act 3 of like, this is what, basically no one is gonna tell her anything that she's gonna change her mind. And that was Nier, like, no matter the consequences of that character's actions, especially Nier, which they consider Nier like the destroyer in like Automata and in future series, because what he's done basically screwed it up for everybody. So And I kind of like that Mael basically goes through this same path as well. Like, look, I don't care. This is what my plan. Uh, when she killed Alicia in front of Verso, and I was like, bro, you're not gonna let Verso talk to her. I was like, this dude is. I was like, she's in too deep.
What Alicia wanted though. But that's part.
But I felt so bad.
I mean, yeah, but that's part of the whole thing, right? Because there's no one is outright wrong and no one is outright correct in their choices they make and how they do it and everything it goes about. Like, yeah, Verso did deserve to say goodbye, but
he needed at least like something, bro.
But at
like,
the end
that
of the
was
day,
crazy.
End of the day, Alicia just wanted it there and then, right? She's ready to go, and of course, but at the same time, it's Verso's been hanging around trying to get it, and then all of a sudden,
all his painting family dead in front of him. Like, damn. Not one goodbye, no nothing. All his painting family is like, what's going on?
It's poor man.
I know. But Ben Starr
kills in this.
Like,
forget Clive. God damn, he's Verso now. That's it.
Is he like?
Sorry, Clive.
Like his voice acting. If aura farming for voice acting is a thing, it's Ben Starr. Because his voice acting is so good as Verso. Like, every time he talked, I was like, yes, Clive. I get it, Clive. Did you do the Frozen Hearts level?
I did everything, yeah.
I did the Frozen Hearts level super early. So, like, every fight
in fairness, I didn't do it like straight away once you got out Monoko Station. I went I was up to the accents before I doubled back. But I literally went in there. I went in there purely. I was still under-leveled for it. It was still saying danger, but I went in there purely to run for those costumes.
Bro, because that costume, when I saw the costume, I was like, look, bro, I was like, I'm not beating this game. I don't care what act I'm in. Bro, it took me hours too because it was a lot of parrying. It was a lot of, but at least I will say that Frozen Hearts level made me OP as hell because I was basically like experience farming at that point. Because every time I went back to the flag, I was like, all right, let me just fight the enemies over and over again. Because then when I got to the boss of that map, it was easy.
I just ran through that thing, got to those dances, and then ran back out again. I'm here for one thing only. Yeah.
No, I was fighting everything.
No.
Oh,
so
man.
what level did you go into the end at then? Because that's a high level dungeon. That one is.
Did I end it on 60? I think I was around. I think I was around like the 60s when I went to the final.
I was late 50s. If I was 60, I was 60. I would be surprised, but I was definitely at least.
Yeah, like I'm trying to remember because I don't know if I was in the 50s or 60s, but I know it was nowhere under or over any of that. Because the final stuff on the map, it was easy, but I know some of them caught me off guard regarding like their hits. I was like, oof. I was like, is this the right I was like, is this the right set of teams I have? But I had like a set team. Like each pack, I had like a set team.
Yeah.
So
that's
like
fair.
my Lune was too broken.
I say I had am I doing it right with that gross to tet or whatever it's called?
What do you mean?
There's a world boss that's just standing there. It's just a face with arms and legs, and all it does is go bang, bang, bang. Did you find that one? Fight that one?
I think I did, but I'm trying to remember. I probably did.
Literally, I don't think you get like 3 turns if you do it right, and if you find it straight away, you're not gonna kill it by attacking it anyway. But you have to do like each time it does a turn.
I know who you're talking about. I don't think I dealt with that boss.
And so like
I
it
know who you're
doubles the
talking about
parries
though,
each time,
because
and
you
then
always had to parry. Yeah, I know who you're talking about now.
Then you got to parry like 20 times in a row, and it'll just sit down and explode.
Yeah.
Pure gimmick fight. I loved the hell out of it. That I did really early. I was like, I'm going to learn this thing. Because if the health bar moved, and I was like, I can kill this thing. It would take an hour.
How about the mimes in the game?
Loved them.
Every time I made it to an area and I heard like the mime noise, I was like, not now. Let me just come back. I already know it's going to be annoying.
There's one that gave me a proper jump scare. It was in the Serene area.
The one in the dark?
Yeah. It's just right behind a corner. It's not even in a room. And you see that, and it just runs from the corner. I'm like, what the fucking hell is this?
Like, I was not expecting to fight the mimes so many times too. I thought I was just gonna fight the mime at that beginning of the game. I was like, okay. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving this area until I beat the mime.
Nope.
And now when they get stronger and stronger, I was like, okay, hold on.
The fun thing with the mimes is they can be so higher above your level, but they're so easy to fight because they only have the 2 moves.
Yeah.
And it's just cool. It's hitting with the punches. It's got the weird hammer thing. Like, cool. I can take this thing. And there's one I found randomly. It was 2 at the same time, and it was way too strong. But it took me like 30 minutes, just like parry. But have you found like the super mime?
Yes, I did.
Did you fight it? You didn't beat it. Oh.
No.
Do you want to know what you get for
I was like, I'm gonna come back to it, but I ended up beating the game. I was like, well.
Do you want to know what you get?
What you got?
You get bald.
What?
You everyone's got to fight that mime because it's a solo fight, and each time you beat,
you get like a bald cap.
Not even a cap. It's just everyone's bald.
Oh my god.
So you get bald CL, bald Lune, bald Mael, bald Verso, bald Monoko. Which bald Monoko is the funniest one because it's just this mask.
Is that thing I saw online? I think I saw on Twitter. It was like if your whole team bald, Renoir is also bald. Is that true? I think I've heard that.
Considering we just talked about the swimsuit and the baguette outfits, I'm going to assume that's true.
Yeah, it might be true then.
I'm going to see if that stats. Going to do bald swimsuits and see what bald swimsuit looks like. Oh. But no, what I know this answer. I know this answer already because we talked about it a little bit. But explain to the people why you chose wrong at the end.
Oh, why I chose right?
You chose wrong.
So basically when Mael was on the drugs of paint, every instance of the game was like, look at the mother. Eyes are going crazy. The dad was like, bro, I gotta keep coming back to the paint. She drugged up on paint meth. I was like, oh my god. I was like, is Papa right? Verso goes to young painter, paint Verso. He was like, are you tired? All he had to do was shake his head. Yes, he's tired of painting. I was like, Mael, you're wrong, bro. Get out. I couldn't do it.
But when
Painter Verso did that, I knew it.
You killed everyone.
Verso, but Mael is a paintress. She could just repaint.
But it wouldn't be that though.
She brought people back. She could literally just, if she wanted to, if you're a paintress, she could write the same story.
She did that because she had the chroma in that painting. Oh, that specific one is so specific. Look,
she could make the most happiest. She could make the most happiest ending. The most happiest ending with her own paint. The happiest ending. Not no evil, depressing Verso crying at the piano. I saw Mael crying, dark and gloomy. I saw dead Gustav. I was like, oh no, not Gustav. Like, Asociel, her dumb husband, get that husband in the trash.
Look,
like,
if you're going to sit here and tell me you did it because no one's real, then little boy Verso wasn't real.
No, I just thought like the ending was like, that ending was like, it's a learning to let go. Like, you just have to let go. Like, a lot of them did agree in the end. The only one that was selfish was Lune. She was like, I didn't like screw that. But everybody just accepted it. Monoko crying, Esquier went to her verso.
I mean, of course, like, Esquier and Monoko are going to accept it. They know everything. They know what they are.
Brother.
They know.
Bro, that Miel ending, the fact that Miel ended up being a drug addict in the end was crazy. when I saw the pink coming down, I was like, why? And like, I don't know. I just really, like, I really
you
did.
Wiped out an entire people, multiple peoples.
Oh, brother, bro!
You wiped out every gestural.
Boo! Like, everybody gets new coloring books, bro. She brought back dead people who probably don't even remember or know how they died. So they're living a false reality.
No, they're not, though, because it's their reality. They
have living a false reality. Just accept it.
Right.
She brought back Verso from the dead to be a slave of music.
I mean, it's what he wanted, right? But
oh, brother, what?
Look, if someone came up to you right now and said, "We have to wipe out everything because you're not real,"
but what's the situation?
Doesn't matter what the situation is.
It has to matter because their life was super depressing in that paint.
It was. It was depressing because of Aline and because Renoir is not letting people breathe their own
None of the people in that painting didn't even get to live a long life. Everybody's lifespan was so short.
That's not their fault. That's Renoir's fault. Once Renoir's out of the painting, they can live the life.
Then Maëlle, as a paintress, should have the ability to make her own beautiful painting of everybody living the same.
But when
even if they are different people,
when you're in the epilogue between Act 2 and Act 3, Maëlle's not the strongest painter because there's pictures on the wall. There's at least 5 pictures, and the only one Maëlle has is a small, tiny one hidden away in a corner. So she's obviously not that good at the painting stuff.
But that's the thing about painting, right?
Verso's painting,
but that's the thing of painting. She could, maybe a few years later, she could be the best damn painter in the world and make her own damn painting.
But then why not just let her stay in Verso's painting?
Didn't you just see her ending? She ended up being a painting drug addict. Like, with the whole, like, she suffered.
No, she doesn't suffer.
Look, I would have.
She's not suffering there at all. Whether she's happy,
she literally dying from the paint.
Yeah, but she's half dead in the real world. She doesn't like her life in the
real world anyway.
Don't, brother, that. Don't, bro.
She was already.
You get horrifically scarred, lose an eye, can't talk, and then
you want her to die in the painting?
I want Maëlle to be happy.
I would have.
Also, at the end of the day, right? What's the difference between Verso taking essentially the last piece of himself away from the family and Maëlle staying in the painting to die? There's no difference there.
There's a difference,
which is entirely the point. In fairness, because it's not supposed to be a good ending either way. It's a tragedy. That's why it starts sad and it ends sad either way. But there is no difference between those two.
There is a difference because the one that's keeping that whole painting alive is literally young Verso painting in eternity. And he's tired.
Not actually Verso though.
But he's still the one keeping it all together, being forced to paint. You believe in child slavery?
He's not a child. He's not even a child.
Oh, brother.
It's barely a piece of the soul.
I would have accepted Mael's ending if she kept her promise to her dad that she wouldn't have been addicted.
She could have left.
She could have. She didn't.
But you don't know that. No.
We do know.
You don't know she left.
Her dad literally showed the repercussions of what has happened to the mom when he stayed in the painting for so long.
Here's the thing,
but then he showed Mael also in her ending, camera back to her, same meth-looking paint on her face. She was cooked. She was all cooked.
That just means she's controlling Verso in that moment. She's not cooked at that point. But you saying you would have accepted that if she would have left. How can
if she kept the painting alive? If she kept the painting alive, hold on. Okay.
You can't give that as the ultimatum for being like, I would have accepted it if you don't give her the chance. You're not giving her that chance.
I did by watching her ending.
No.
That means she messed up.
You don't know how much time has passed.
A lot. Because bro, literally played the whole section again of her dad showing the repercussions of what's happened to the painter.
That's just how the paint works, right? Because when you first meet Clair, she has the paint. That's just how the power manifests on people.
No, but that type of paint is different. She has the paintress mommy messed up eyes.
No, she doesn't.
GG,
all the eyes are the same.
You can't. All she did was made Verso a damn slave into the paint, false hopes, false happiness.
Verso was old. So I just wanted to live this lifetime together was legit. He's old. She brought him back and he's old. He's aging.
You literally saw the tears in his eyes. You literally saw the little wet
spot. He's not even crying. He's not even crying.
Bro,
I've watched the ending like 8 times.
I can't believe it, bro. Literally look at Miel and look at Verso.
Yeah, I heard.
Like he could.
No, he's not crying. He's just extremely pissed off. There's a difference.
No, man. Being a slave to a fake reality is crazy, bro.
Either ending isn't good. Either ending is objectively.
I think Verso's still the better ending. No, it's the you just gotta accept, let it go. Just move on.
Yeah, but it's just letting it accept it and move on is fine. But people deserve the right to do that at their own pace, not Renoir's pace. That's the whole argument, right?
I mean, I was only 16 years old. She don't know what the hell she wants.
In Europe,
that's fine.
It's in Europe, that's fine. She's old enough to make her own choices. She can drive.
Verso's ending was so much better because the family was so broken, but everybody is officially back together. His sister, the mom, the dad, everybody.
You just committed genocide.
Oh, brother.
How can you look at Esquia's face? How could you even evoke Esquia's name while you're erasing him from existence?
He hugged Verso and accepted it. He said he hugged Monoko and Esquia was like, "I'm gonna miss you guys." I was like, "I'm gonna miss you too." Like, that's it. Let's call it a day.
How can you look at Esquia?
It'd be like that, man. The dog. You told me their dogs is outside in real life. I just got the dogs.
It's not Monoko though.
No worries. It's Monoko number whatever.
Now, speaking of the dogs, there's actually a secret in the manor about the dogs.
Really?
You got to jump through the paint.
Oh, really? Wait, what?
Yeah,
what actually got in the painting?
Yeah. If you go in the manor, literally through any of the doors, just find a random door and go through it. But if you go up the side of the stairs where the flag is, so the left-hand side, and then you get to a point where there's a little crossover point. There's a painting there. If you jump in that painting, you'll find a secret.
So, bro, is everybody just OP in that family? Like you just gotta be in the paint?
Well, they're painters. That's the whole thing. Because Clair made the Nevrons.
Yeah.
She painted that. Renoir's obviously wiping everyone out. Verso made the entire canvas.
Mm-hmm.
And Aline's like, no, I'm keeping this.
Yeah, she's just a drug addict.
She's not a drug addict. She's no. Look, they're the 5 stages of grief, all right? You can't skip one or force someone to move on.
So what's the last stage of grief? Of acceptance, right?
Yeah, Verso is acceptance.
See, so the Verso ending is the best one. It's just accepting.
There's a reason why it's stages. You have acceptance. You have to go through all of them to accept it. Because Mael's depression, Aline.
That's where she stopped at her ending.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Does she make some good choices? No, that's why she's such a good character. But she deserves the right to at least, it's not.
That's why I think you're gonna love Nier. I think you're gonna love Nier. When you play Nier Replicant, you're gonna love Nier.
Because
for sure.
I also heard Metaphor's quite similar to this.
Oh, what game? Metaphor? Oh yeah.
I specifically heard Clair Obscur be referred to as the anti-metaphor. Because the similar things, but they're coming out from 2 different angles. Right.
Yeah, because one is like you're in a storybook, but you're talking about reality. So it's like the whole like Gurren Lagann being anti-Evangelion is like in the same coin.
Yeah, you've got Mael's obviously depression. And how can she be when she's had 2 different lives, which wasn't her fault, so even more reason for it to let her to stay in this thing. Aline is... I forgot what Aline is. Denial. She doesn't want Versa to be dead, obviously. Renoir's bargaining, which is why he's trying to get everyone to do what he wants. Claire's anger, hence why she literally goes off to fight a war by herself. And then Versa's acceptance. But you have to let people go through those stages before you get to the pinky acceptance.
So what you're saying is do the Mael ending first. Play the game again. Get the Versa ending.
Kind of, yeah. Kind of. Yeah. But no, it's... I chose Mael's ending.
Make a sequel.
No. If they make a sequel,
they have to make a sequel.
No, they can't.
I need to know what's up with the writers, bro.
You don't.
They could make a franchise out of this.
Look, they are, because they've said it's a series.
Are they the only painters, though?
What's that?
There's other painters, right?
Oh, I mean, I assume so. But this is the thing. Obviously, we don't know how they're going to take everything forward. Like, is this... Personally, I want this just to be an absolute one and done. If you're going to carry...
I want it one and done with this family.
Yeah. But, treat it like a Final Fantasy. Have everything be anthologies. No game... You can have, gestuals and stuff. But then gestures are very specific to Verso.
I guess we'll have to see what's gonna. I feel like if they make a spin-off sequel, whatever they want to do with this franchise, I feel like maybe the ongoing character is probably just gonna be Clea because she's the one that's disappearing. Like for example, Mael having a whole life in the paint, right? We could have a whole story of what Clea has been doing with the war. Who's she talking to outside the war? Who's the writer? Blah, 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 blah. There's a lot of things they could do with Clea involved to be that middle.
I've looked at that as a Seele from Neon Genesis. It's like, here's the thing. You can know there's stuff about them, like ancillary material and all that sort of stuff, but you don't really... The show never dives into it. It's just, hey, these people exist. It's just world building, right? I don't personally need anything with the writers. Just the concept of it is enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Clair Obscur 2 don't like nothing to do with this family. This story's told.
Yeah, I feel like if you bring back, because especially if you have like two endings or whatever, right? Like I feel like bringing everybody back would be really tedious. It's like it's done.
Yeah.
It's done.
I feel like
I like what you said with just make it one and done. Just make it Final Fantasy. Same world, but just make it Final Fantasy.
It doesn't have to be the same world. No, make
you don't want
ones.
You want one in Germany?
No. Why would
okay.
It's bad enough that it's French. Well, so the French are funny.
Same
right?
world of the French land. Just another maybe like Remy from Ratatouille has like a painting idea. He's like, yes,
exactly. It'd be interesting if they kept. You know how Final Fantasy has like crystals, Sids, chocobos. It has like the 3 Cs.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting if they kept something like that as like an anchor point for the entire thing. But honestly, part of me is like, just do something completely new. If you have to carry anything over, I'd want it just to be Jennifer English and Ben Starr.
Mm-hmm.
You could always say like, there's always a Mael, there's always a Verso. But it's just completely different. And the only thing I'd be kind of worried about is, do they try and do the standard sequel thing of like one-upping yourself? Like, do they try and redo the twist? Like, how do you actually take this franchise going forward?
If I was them, I kind of like what you said earlier. If it's one and done, just make the game like it's its own thing, and not have to worrying about like oh, we got to rely on this and this and this. Just like Expedition 33 is done. You could do Clair Obscur ABC or something like, I don't know. Just as long as it's different. Like, think of it as its own thing. Like, if they could do that, then it's fine.
Because it's my one worry.
Because it's going to be a lot of pressure.
Oh, yeah, easily. But it's my one worry for the next one is everyone goes in being like, oh, well, the twist in the last game was this, so there's got to be something like that. And they either just repeat it or it's just like, not that it'll be not as good or anything, but I think that'll be the concern is everyone's going to be like, oh, it's not as good as the first one because it's blah, 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 blah. You saw it coming. It's because you expected it. No one expected it with this game.
Yeah. Like no one expected a team of 30 people, random people from SoundCloud, random people from Reddit, or whatever.
It's worse than SoundCloud. Like the
really?
Lorien Testard, I think his name is, has a SoundCloud account. They didn't find him on SoundCloud.
They found him.
They can't even remember. The story they tell is there was one night in COVID and he found this obscure indie music website who, like an hour before, Lorien posted something and he'd never been on that site before. It was the first time. And he was like, hey, do you want to do this? I was like, yeah, sure.
Wow.
And they're like, I can't remember the name of the website. And it's like, that is insane.
Bro, because like every time I go on the internet, always find out like, like they said everybody came from Ubisoft. Actually, it's only like a few people. Everybody else don't even know how to make a game yet. Yeah, like everybody else is not even in the gaming business. I was like, bro. And I tweeted out, I was like, they gotta assemble this team.
Say the art director for this. Oh, they did an interview with that Thor guy who's everywhere on YouTube and Twitch at the minute. And I can't remember where he said he came from. I don't think it was Cirque du Soleil, but it was something like a stage thing. And it's like, yeah, come, I'm just going to come over here now. And got arguably one of the best art directors in the industry. There's not a single... This There's not a single bad location in this. Everything is insane. Yeah. Everything looks so. Especially that world map. I love the world map. Oh,
bro, the music and I mean this too. The music in Expedition 33 is up there, and I'm not just talking about Final Fantasy. It's up there with the best in Square Enix music. And Square Enix music to me has like one of the best music in gaming. It's up there. It's competing because there is not one. I swear to God, there is not one bad song in this game. From the moment you play the game, from the mats, from the bosses to the ending, the rolling of the credits. Peak.
Personally, I'd say it's the best score we've gotten in 30 years, in general.
30 years? That's crazy. Mm-hmm. But it's not, honestly, I could see why, because like I said, this game, like the music for this game, I don't think there's one bad song in this game.
No.
It's beautifully well done.
There's I purposely didn't listen to it because before the game came out, they were releasing like songs from the game on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a point where they dropped 3 and they said, well done to everyone that realized these 3 make one song. And I was like, I'm not touching anything. I'm waiting for the game to come out to hear everything like for the first time. And I know the middle part, I think it's the middle part, is the Renoir music from the Monolith fight. Where you
Which
just
is
have
amazing.
The lyrics just kick in instantly. It's like, what the fuck? But like, it's the specific tracks to the actual the different acts and the epilogues, and it all makes one big thing. But say because that Renoir music, have you translated the lyrics for that Renoir song?
No.
Say because I really want to talk to like an actual French person who's played this game, because the lyrics for that song would blow open everything they're about to tell you.
Really?
Yeah, it's all about Renoir and the lean fighting and which one's going to come out on top and how they have to move on. They got to do this for certain things. You got to stop painting, get out this canvas.
Oh, wow. Wait, all that is in the song?
All that is the lyrics of the song, yeah. Like the lyrics are literally the two of them having a fight. It's like, that is crazy.
Speaking of, like, I know we already talked about like the bosses and stuff, but when you fight the dad in Act 3, and when he turns into the curator, that fight, and then when the mom comes out too, when you see the giant painters, when he walked into the painting of his family to get health, I was like, oh my God. I was like, this game is so peak.
That painting is his Chaos Emeralds. Because he walks in normal and he comes out glowing yellow. It's like, this guy just went supersonic on me. Like, goddamn.
I was like, bro, I was like, you playing? I was like, what year this game takes place? I was like, you trolling. It was like, you a Sonic fan.
It takes place in like 1809.
He saw the future, bro. That's crazy.
Did you notice the date on Verso's grave?
Oh yeah, where it was like something and it said like 33. So like the 33 is like
33rd December. It's just like, wow. I didn't clock that straight away. I watched it again. I'm like, does that really say 33? Like, they put that everywhere. But speaking of expeditions, though, did you hear Expedition 60's journal?
Yeah, it's hardcore.
If there is a DLC, it needs to be Expedition 60.
Yeah,
just go the complete opposite of this game. Make it a JoJo reference.
Like that was one thing I also loved about the game, because I actually listened to like all like the expeditions. I like hearing their story and like seeing like what they had to deal with. I was like, one team just completely gave up. I was like, you bunch of losers. I was like, I mean, 60 was like the most Gears of War. Like, they don't care.
No, the fact that naked shimmering muscles will save the day, and they got through that barrier just being naked. No, like, well done, boys. Well done. And the poor guy got Gamage swimming back. No.
Good game, man.
Edition 60. I know. I'm just trying to think of how to slowly wrap this up, but I want to ask more. What was your favorite boss fight out of literally everything in the game? Because the bosses in this are really fucking good.
I really liked, because I think I brought it up before, I really liked the curator fight because like I really like the paintress and the curator fight because I love when you fight the paintress, there's like 3 phases, like her tearing up reality to bring stuff to attack you was cool. The curator fight was cool because I brought up, you see the mom come out, she's fighting was it the songstress or whatever in the sky, and
yeah, because he brings in the accents, doesn't he?
Yeah, like the accents come in to help fight. Like him walking into the painting.
Did you catch that about the accents? How they're all like his family? Because obviously you have the Reachers Mael because they specifically go out and say that, but like Visage, the one with the masks, is Verso because you have Verso. Right? So that's what Verso was like, which makes Verso's ending even worse. I think Siren was supposed to be Aline, the mum. And then the one that Simon killed, if you actually look on the world map, you can see the sword going through its head, the poor thing.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the Hauler. I don't think it's actually named until the curator fight is Clair. And so I really like this like artistic interpretation of how he sees like his wife and kids. I kind of wish we got a self-portrait for Renoir, but
yeah. And I was gonna say, I think my other favorite boss fight, I really did like the Gustav one when he does die, because it's like, not the lamp boss, when you're actually fighting Renoir as Gustav.
Wow.
Because I don't know if you want to consider that, because it's like, oh man, because it's like, what's gonna happen? Because when he builds up the lightning and attack, I was like, oh my god.
Did you heal yourself in that fight? Did you stay at 1 HP?
No, I just accepted it. I feel like I knew what was gonna happen. I was like, I'm not gonna heal myself, man.
I was watching
this dude is taking all the kills.
I think it was Maximilian Dude's stream of when he was at that bit and he healed himself. I'm like, come on, man, just accept it. Like you ain't walking out of there.
Like it's how far not going down.
Like the whole immersion of that scene is gone because once you heal yourself, all the blood effect goes. So you got this pristine you got this pristine looking Gustav. He's just like, I'm gonna die. It's like, no, you're not. You're fine now. So that was a really cool fight. That was tense because like, is he gonna die? Like, am I actually dead here? Can we hurt Renoir? No, you can't.
Because it makes you think. Because what I love about that fight, because again, it makes you think like a lot of people didn't expect like Gustav to die at that moment, but I thought he was going to be saved or something. Because I knew Ben Starr was in the game. Maybe I thought his character was going to come out and save it. And then Verso later on said like, yeah, look, I could have saved Gustav. I'm like, bro, why didn't they save the king?
Did you lie to Mael at that point?
No.
Oh, good man. Good man. You've made the right choices the entire game apart from the end. That's wild.
No, that's crazy.
You dropped the ball right at the end. That's crazy.
Team Verso. I understand his pain. Especially CL. Screw that. She got to go. She ain't bringing back her man.
I don't get how you can be Verso when, especially after looking at Lune's face. She doesn't even go in the
I mean, look, it happens. You gotta stop being selfish. He's selfish. Everybody was ready to go. When she sat down in that portal, I was like, you loser. I was like, you don't see Verso hugging everybody?
I apologize for the absolute buffoonery this man spitting on my channel.
You didn't felt the pain when Verso was like, I don't want this life. I don't want this life. You don't felt that pain?
I did, yeah. But then he should be happy because he could do what he wanted to do. So
oh my god.
Look, at least she let him do what he wanted to do and grow old. Okay. The only crime Mael is guilty of committing is not having. No, SKA and Monoko were there at the end. No, ignore it.
They were there. They were letting everybody in the entrance.
Mael's totally innocent. Yeah, she's totally innocent. Yeah. Mael was right from start to finish. Also, Mael was consistent, and this isn't a knock against Verso's character because I think it actually makes Verso a really strong character. You can see
Mael's consistent throughout her story. She didn't change that one bit.
Yeah, but what I was going to say is you can see like the performance capture, the voice act, not even the voice acting, it's all performance capture. Verso changes his mind at the last minute. Verso only changes his mind about everything when he sees how Mael's talking to Renoir.
And then when he also saw
looking around.
Yeah, I know what you mean because when he opened up the portal to show the mom and he saw like the mom was coughing, he was like, oh, what the hell? And then like the whole lying thing is it was that very end, like you could tell like everybody was gonna go through with it until you're like, okay, hold on. He's like, this is wrong. So,
and then he's just like, I don't care. Like, this man has a bond with CL in my canon, forced upon me. And even that, he commits genocide and wipes out an entire existence.
But they understood. That's the thing. They all understood. The only one that didn't understood was Lune.
Absolutely does not understand.
She was selfish.
No, she deserves.
Forget your fake mom and dad, bro. They're dead.
They're not fake. They're not fake. They have agency. They're sentient. They've had lived lives. They've made choices.
Bro, I'm about to throw paint at their painting. I'm like, we don't need this anymore.
This is another thing, right? Why can't Renoir just literally gloss over the painting?
Well, it is the 1800s, right?
They had glass.
Maybe he didn't think about that.
They had glass. In Europe, we had glass. We're civilized people. I know your country didn't exist by that point because you're like 12 years old, but we had stuff like that. No, we had things. We knew how stuff worked.
Because here's the thing. I really thought Miel was going to be like, I would have thought once she became the paintress, because when she talked about, they found the spot for the painting, right? So no one could harm it. I really did think like once the game is done, she would just pop in, pop out, pop in, pop out. I didn't know she just wanted to just be there forever.
Well, no,
I was like, okay.
She obviously she wanted to be in it. Well, before she didn't want to be in it forever because she didn't actually know. She just thought she was Mael, right? She had no idea about Alicia until
the 2 lives in.
But she can't pop in and pop out because Renoir was going to destroy the canvas straight away. Because she doesn't go into the painting.
That's what I'm saying. I thought because when you fight the dad, like, and he accepted, blah 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 blah. Like, I thought she was gonna, because I believed Mael all the way to the end when she was like, "Look, Dad, you don't have to worry. You know, I do good, blah 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 blah." And then in Verso's ending, not Verso's ending, before the fight, when he was gonna get to Painter Verso and she attacked him, I was like, hold on, bitch. I was like, calm down. I was like, hold on. You didn't have to do all that.
No, Mael was right. Neither are technically right, but Mael has objectively the less psychopathic ending, ironically.
Okay, I don't know about all that.
Everyone gets to live. Everyone's happy. If someone's got no quality of life, then let them be happy. As Verso says, because Verso puts it perfectly, they're all
bro. You never played Digimon, bro.
No one likes Digimon.
Oh, that's crazy. See, can't even.
This is how you just expose why Mael's right, because Verso fans like Digimon. But as Verso says, they're all hypocrites doing the same thing to each other. There's no right or wrong ending. It's just objectively, factually the correct one. That's Mael's.
You're like the 1%.
I've found it to be a good mix of people, actually.
You're like 5%.
No, it's at least 50-50.
No. It's your 50. Algorithms messing you up, man. You found all the wrong people.
Same for you. You're on some goofy.
It's 100%. You go on the YouTube comments, they be like, terrible ending, blah blah blah. It's crazy.
All buts. Silent majority, Mael. Because we're living our lives the way we want to live them. We're not being forced to be what our parents want us to be and live how our parents. We're living our lives and happy about it. Mael's clearly not
the dad watching Mael being a drug addict out in the real world, like, oh my god, I want about to.
It's not her fault though. It's her mum's fault. Don't shake your head.
The mom looking at Mael like, damn, it's my fault too.
It is. Clear's the one
Clear's gonna be like,
it's over. Right?
Clear's gonna look at Mael like, I knew this girl was a waste of my time. How Clear gonna leave her in the painting to live a whole life in the paint?
That's another thing. Why can't Mael just live that lifetime in that painting when her mum clearly resents her? Hence why the painted Aline or Alicia is all burnt and missing an eye. Clear clearly doesn't like her.
I realized, why couldn't they just take turns keeping the painting alive?
I mean, the painting stays alive.
Mael because I think it would have worked. Because Mael was basically completely unaffected living her life because she didn't realize she was a paintress. She wasn't holding the painting alive.
Exactly.
So it wouldn't have affected her if she just if she wanted to live down her life and maybe her dad, her sister, her mom, you're like, okay, let's keep our child alive. Let's make her happy. All right,
it's purely Renoir. Renoir not letting people grieve how they want to and need to is why that kind.
But that's what I'm saying, because in the final fight, he accepted. He was like, all right. I was like, okay, let's hug. I'm going back to France. I'll meet some
absolutely
snails.
Accepting is maybe not the right word there. He definitely gives up.
Yeah, he was like, let me hug you. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. He was like, I gotta read the news. So what's going on with the war? This is wasting my time.
Just, I've got Clair at home. No. I know this is why I want to talk about this game, because I find it fascinating that there's not one clear right answer.
Mm-hmm.
No, I know the Verso people will try and tell you there is, but no, there's no. Mael deserves to be happy as well.
Mael just needs to get surgery. She rich.
In the 1800s in France? No.
They got powers. They could do something.
I mean, she did. That's why she was in the painting. That's why she didn't want to leave.
No, she accidentally lived the life in the painting. Cleo was like, "Oh, brother, I'm gonna just leave you there. How you born again in a painting?"
Again, like Mael's getting blamed for things her mother and her sister done to her. Cleo could have gone back in there and helped Mael. Her mum didn't have to paint over Alicia.
Yeah, see, that's the part I'm saying. If they took turns keeping that painting alive, it's fine.
Obviously, I don't think we know how the paintings actually work, but I'd assume the painting stays alive and carries on even when they're not in there.
No, because they need a young Verso to continuously paint.
Yeah, but that's a Pete. That's not obviously. That's just a tiny bit of Verso's soul, right? That's not actually Verso.
Did you ever talk to the? But did you ever talk to like that young Verso? Like like on a lot of the stages, like you get like bits and pieces. Like, oh, my mom forcing me to paint.
Yeah, he's being forced to paint in there. Yeah, but that's only a piece of Verso's soul. Like, as long as that's still painting, then the painting carries on.
Can't believe they made him a slave. I can't believe it.
They didn't make him a slave.
They didn't even make him happy. I would have put him in a playhouse or something, painting. They're like, here, you want crayons?
He was in charge of it. He could have painted whatever. He could have painted friends in there. No. If Verso was smart, right, and if Verso was actually a clever character, he would have painted another version of himself to carry on painting.
I realized that Mael could do the same thing too. She was OP.
No, because it's not Verso's soul. Verso's soul has to do the painting because Verso's soul controls the canvas. Mael was just visiting in there and using the chroma. Everyone has it out for Mael. Mael was justified. I'm sorry. And with that, that's an hour and a half of the spoiler cast for the Mitch692 channel. So I'm not going to let Ricardo say anymore because he's just spouting fake news. It's all fake news. Fake news. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you made it this far, I hope you did. I said at the start, this might be a one-off. There might be more. I hope there's more because I hope games continue to hit like this, but we shall see. So, Ricardo, where can people find you?
Find me on, I guess, that racist platform X.
Wow, and Verso people hang out on X. There you go. My L's are on Blue Sky.
RC Imperious. I think it's RC Imperious on, was it Blue Sky too? Yeah, and then eventually I got something in the works, so I guess if I drop in for another video, I'll talk about that as well.
Well, hopefully you do. Because we got plans. It's just you have to properly formulate said plans. But you can find me in the Blue Skies. It's not. I'm not a Verso racist, so I'm not on Twitter.
Oh my God.
I'm on Mael's Sky because it's the objectively better place and correct place to be at. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff. Got a ton of stuff coming out. We're doing Dan to Dan for the next Pro and Noob. The next game stuff, I don't know what I'm going to be doing actually. I don't know what's coming out this year. I want Tides of Annihilation out this year, but I don't know if it's going to come out this year.
Mm-hmm.
But that's another
unless we randomly get a trailer for FF7, because they're in the works. I think that game is coming out next year easily.
No, it's not. No, it's 27.
No,
27
remember when
27 the no chance of 26.
When Rebirth was finished, they jumped right into the third game.
They jumped right into Rebirth when Remake came out, and that was a 4-year wait.
I mean, I guess we'll see.
It's either going to be 27 or 28. It's zero chances next year. This is how you know Versos are wrong. I don't know which side he's on.
It's coming out next year.
Versos are wrong.
It's coming out next year. When they don't even have a Kingdom Hearts 4 team. They're showing you like fake pictures online. No, there's only like one guy working on Kingdom Hearts 4. Everybody's on FF7. Well, showing you AI pictures of Sora doing poses.
I love you, Square Enix. I really do. I would just like a game in a reasonable release date for a change.
Yeah, Square Enix knows we're dying.
I'm not going to see Kingdom Hearts 5, I can tell you. It's too far away. But with that, thank you for listening, and we'll catch you all at some point. So bye-bye.